Toyota's hydrogen-burning Corolla catches fire in test and is pulled from race debut. Let's find out a little bit more about what happened today and whether this is going to be a problem for hydrogen cars in the future. It looks like Toyota's hydrogen-powered race car has erupted in flames during tested and was pulled from the competition. The race car had enough damage that had to be replaced by a gasoline engine for this weekend's race. On first read, that sounds like it cannot be good for both publicity of hydrogen cars and Toyota's race team. It was seen for its official test at Fuji Speedway, and it had promising pace. Ahead of this race, Toyota has also fielded race car with a gaseous hydrogen setup for 2 seasons already, but this is the first one it would run with an engine burning liquid hydrogen. Looks like the fire developed in the engine bay during the private test run. A pipe rattled loose due to vibrations and leaked hydrogen and ignited the engine due to the heat. They're claiming that there's no correlation between switching from gaseous hydrogen to liquid hydrogen and that being the issue. They're saying it's purely a mechanical issue. Do we believe them? Given Toyota's track record, I'm inclined to believe them. The fire was detected by a sensor and immediately shut off the supply of hydrogen to the engine. It looks like nobody was hurt, but it was enough damage to keep the car from participating in the opening race for the season. They're going to try to have it ready for the next race in May. The switch from gas to liquid nitrogen was to increase the range it could drive, as well as make transportation of the fuel easier, since liquid hydrogen is easier to refuel. So let's comment on what this means for the future of hydrogen cars. Personally, I think this means absolutely nothing. This can be seen as maybe news outlets trying to make something out of a small incident. I mean, it was, nothing. Everything did not go perfectly smooth, obviously, before their season opening race. But at the same time, I'm not concerned. I wouldn't be. It sounds like they're not concerned. And things with hydrogen will continue to plow on. For those of you who don't know much about hydrogen cars, they've been in production for many, many years now. Toyota is actually one of the world leaders when it comes to hydrogen, and they've been selling quite a few commercial vehicles that run on hydrogen very successfully, and likely will be one of the main forms of fuel in the future. Personally, and I've had conversations with engineers in the field of batteries, battery design and energy storage design, and they have also believed that hydrogen is superior to the electric cells that electric cars use with lithium, and is superior to gas. And I think that hydrogen really will be the future vehicle. The biggest thing in hydrogen's way right now is there's no infrastructure really around hydrogen around most of the world. I know that in China, there's been much more of a push, and from what I've read, where China is now with hydrogen is where they were with electric vehicles around 20 years ago. So if things continue the way they're going, I could totally see hydrogen being taken up by China and being one of the primary fueling methods, particularly for commercial vehicles. It takes only minutes for hydrogen vehicles to fuel up compared to electric vehicles, which take a much longer time. The ranges are better. The biggest fear with hydrogen has always been this danger, and this is probably why this article was written, with the flammability of hydrogen. I mean, the Hindenburg always comes to mind. I think a lot of this hesitancy can start to kind of disappear as the technology advances. We're going to start to see its real life implementation around the world in the next 10 years. I think that it is a much cleaner energy, even than electric energy, because I think the fuel cell design is better than that of the electric car batteries. We know how harmful that can be to the environment. And while both are emission-free, hydrogen in the long run is going to be less impactful and more practical, which is the bigger thing. In conclusion, I don't think this crash really means anything against hydrogen, although it is sad not to see the hydrogen car out for its season opener. Please comment below whether you'd buy a hydrogen car in the future, or whether you would prefer electric or with the tried and true fuel like gas or diesel. Let me know with a comment below.